Hi, this is Greg McCoach, editor of the Mining Speculator. We're here in Vancouver, Canada at the Metals Investor Forum in January. Today, I'm with Bill Sheriff, director of Group 11. Bill?
Thanks, Greg. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and Group 11 is a new company for me, so I don't know hardly anything about it. So I'm going to let you take over and explain what we're doing.
Sure. Well, it was the outgrowth, if you will, of several companies that started it, including some of our former mining companies. And really, it's all about looking at alternate methods of processing ore. And to that end, originally we did quite a bit of work on iodine lixiviant for recovery of gold versus cyanide up at Rattlesnake in Wyoming. And we were able to get up to 45–50% recovery of gold in solid core. Obviously, iodine is an interesting complex that has an affinity for recovering gold, goes back thousands of years.
Oh, really?
And it's just not economically competitive with cyanide in an outdoor heap leach type environment.
Right.
And we've also looked at ISR for other metals. We've obviously got a pretty good heritage and lineage in that with Encore and the uranium field. But around the world, there are a number of metals that have been recovered through ISR. And you've got molybdenum, vanadium, a whole list of them, scandium in some instances, rare earths. So we're looking into that as well. And the key, of course, is finding an environmentally friendly lixiviant to do that. Then having to fracture the rocks a bit just to fluff them up. And this works very well on structurally controlled minerals. Of particular note, newsworthy, is we're under contract to pick up a small 250 to 350 ton a day gravity flotation mill in the dead center of Nevada. And this provides us an opportunity, a dual opportunity, which really is why the company is going to be looking to go public here in the near future. First off, it allows us a perfect laboratory for developing different lixiviants. We actually used the iodine very successfully up in the Yukon with the 3 Aces project.
Right.
Had better recovery than cyanide. And in a closed loop, the expense is limited because you can recycle it. So that was not an issue. There are a number of other products coming out as well that look interesting, and you're seeing them used around the world on tests. So we'll be doing that on site there. And as I say, it's fully permitted. The new lixiviants are no more effort typically than posting an MSDS sheet on the door to take advantage of trials because they're non-toxic.
Yeah.
And so we look forward to doing that. And the other thing, obviously, with a gravity flotation mill in the center of Nevada, we're going to try and take advantage of an awful lot of the smaller deposits of high grade in Nevada. There are a countless number of them.
Oh, my goodness.
And,
you're right dead center in the middle of
Oh,
that.
absolutely right, especially with the Walker Lane, because the Walker Lane is famous for a lot of high-grade smoke, but not a lot of size.
And they need to process it.
They do, and I ask people to just think about it. Mining claims are $200 a year now to hold with the government.
Yeah.
If you own 10 mining claims and you've got 5,000 ounce per ton deposit at a ½ ounce per ton, what's that worth?
Yeah.
It's worth minus $2,000 a year because you have to keep paying to keep it, and you can't process
No.
it. So this will really open the door towards a regional effort, and obviously we may consider toll milling, but our main objective will be to mill some of our own projects.
Wow.
And we have one in just slightly west of Tonopah that had a historic resource on it of I think 10–12,000 ounces at 1,500 grade ounce per ton.
Yeah.
And also a feeder vein underneath it that's 8 feet wide that runs 3/4 ounce per ton.
Yeah.
And this is outcropping. So a perfect example of where we can go with a bulk sample. Know where we're going and what we're doing based on historic data that we have, and so you mine 2,000 or 3,000 tons of that.
Right.
It keeps your mill going for a while. Certainly you can make some money at current gold and silver prices.
Absolutely.
And so we've got a number of those, plus we've got 3 or 4 major exploration projects that are awaiting further development in northern Nevada, mostly Pershing County. And a lot of these are things I've been holding on to in my back pocket for a number of years.
Well, yeah, you and I have crisscrossed over Nevada. We're both members of the multi-million mile club, right?
I think so. Yeah, we've been on a number of trips together, and you've been to a number of our projects over the years. But these were some of the best that I had. So we kept them. Just really didn't try and market them. I kept them for the right time. And if this isn't it, I don't know.
This is it. This is definitely
and
it.
Group 11. One of our first things is we'll be changing the name here in the very near future to Manhattan Metals Corp.
Manhattan Metals.
And should give us some traction when we go to the big city, right?
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, we're very excited about it. So it'll be a multiple prong effort to generate cash flow, and not right away. Obviously, we've got to get things going and get a permit on our Doré facility, that sort of thing.
Right.
But in terms of operational status, the mill is a couple of weeks, couple of months. Ready
And
to go.
it won't trade though for a couple months yet?
I think it's going to be typically like any RTO, so probably 4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be watching then, yeah. I'll have to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
I'll be covering it in the newsletter, so we'll
Good.
let everybody know.
One other sort of side angle is, Dennis Stover has been involved with Encore since the beginning as, one of the leading ISR guys. In fact, one of the 2 original patent holders on the process.
Right.
Still quite active, still very helpful at Encore, but stepped down from his day-to-day activities there. And one of his real efforts is to look at increasing and enhancing the ISR recovery from uranium deposits, specifically those that are not particularly well saturated, in which case oxygen tends to bubble off. So one of the things we're looking at are other technologies, other oxygen-based lixiviants, ways to increase surface area of the bubbles that we have in the solution, and iodine, because all you're doing is oxidizing uranium. And iodine's a very strong, slower acting, retains more of its oxidizing strength, won't bubble off like oxygen. So we're really planning on using that as well. And as such, we're making application to the DOE for any number of grants. They've been very prolific of late, coming out with these sort of programs. And yeah, in many instances, they require a licensed, permitted facility to do test work on over a period of years. And so through the relationship with Encore and the ability to bring them in and really essentially sublease with a right to look at the technology, use one of the stranded well fields that our predecessors there in Texas had on one of the uranium deposits that just wasn't far enough underground or under the water table to work. So
Well, you guys clearly have had the brain trust when it comes to ISR. You control that.
yeah, and so little has been done since the 70s. It was sort of ISR got going, it was great and get guns, and then 3 Mile Island. It's the epitome of the whole story of nuclear, 4 decades later. So really, we're still at ISR 1.0. And, we're looking, and there's some other companies, General Atomics in New Mexico, I think you're going to see going to ISR 2.0. And with that, I think you're going to see some quantum advances, just like we did when we brought ISR in. And, we just want to be at the forefront of
The
those.
cutting edge, you are. You've always been, on that.
Certainly try to be. Doesn't mean they all work, but if you don't try them, they don't work for sure.
That's it. So, we'll look forward to what's coming. And Manhattan
Metals Corp.
Metals Corp, everybody. You heard it here first.
It's a new product, but I think it's a timely one.
Absolutely.
And the next step forward in a lot of these things, bringing cleaner environment, equal or better recovery, and lower overall cost. A lot of that gained through the environmental.
It just seems like everything in the universe, all the planets have lined up for us.
They have. It's one of those warning signs when everything lines up. It's getting ready to go past that. But I think we've got a good time period here with a serious focus on metals. And I think most of the industry learned what happened in the 07 time frame. So I think this one's going to last longer.
Yeah. Well, Bill, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Greg. Really appreciate it.